Well, here's the Massachusetts governor. This is great. So I'm humored by the fact that you've got J.B. Pritzker and the clown in California and now the lady in Massachusetts, who have states with high murder rates, high break-in rates, high rapes, right? Lots of bad stuff going on, people fleeing the cities. Chicago, I mean, Pritzker, for Pete's sake, Chicago is like gangland USA. And that fat guy is getting up there going, oh, Trump and Texas. Stop worrying about Texas. Stop, start worrying about your own state. So I'm watching this press conference earlier today with the governor of Massachusetts. No, not Mitt Romney. That was once upon a time. But the governor of Massachusetts, got up, and her name is Maura Healey. And almost heard the criticism because she spends this whole time talking about what's going on in Texas. And then, without even skipping a beat, she starts explaining how she's doing all of this for her state. I got to play this. Here's the part where, and mind you, she'd already been talking for at least 2 minutes.
As governor of Massachusetts, every day I am focused on the lives of people in Massachusetts.
Are you, though?
Whether that's cutting taxes, lowering costs for housing, creating jobs. What's happening in Texas matters to the people of Massachusetts, and it matters to people all over this country. If we don't have a fair election system in this country, that hurts all Americans. We've seen the impact in Massachusetts of Donald Trump's cuts to Medicaid and anti-hunger programs, and the way his tariff tax has raised costs for everyone. This is, to be really clear about it, a partisan, craven, political power grab attempt by the President of the United States, Governor Greg Abbott, and AG Paxton. That's what this is.
I like that Cape Cod lesbian chic style she has, Robbie. It's not really my thing, but I'm not gonna lie. But I'm sure it can work for some manly women out there. What's the problem here? You literally have a woman who is the governor of a state. Okay, seems like a nice lady. She's concerned about #democracy, about people having a voice, about our representational system of government. It all sounds great. In Massachusetts, about 35% of the state, believe it or not, okay, not a lot, but not nothing, are Republicans. How many Republican congressmen are there from Massachusetts? I think Massachusetts has 9 congressional districts. 9 districts. Okay, they have gerrymandered the frickin' heck out of the state to the point that there are exactly 0 districts where a Republican has been elected. In fact, a Republican, not one GOP Republican rep has been elected since 1994. So you see, again, it's all a clown show, which, by the way, was beautiful when a reporter decides to ask the governor of Massachusetts, who cares about Massachusetts, but she's there talking about what's going on in Texas. She asks her, so are you going to do some tit for their tat? Are you going to fight back against Republicans and do something like what Gavin Newsom is threatening to do, is to do your own redistricting, your own gerrymandering? Here's the question and the answer.
Other governors have talked about redistricting in retaliation. Is that something you would consider in Massachusetts?
Isn't it a sad state of affairs that that's where we're at, okay? And, Donald Trump, Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton have left us no choice. That's the reality. Nobody came looking for this, right? We had a system of free and fair elections. We have maps that are regularly drawn, voted on by legislatures, approved and signed off on by governors. This is the way the system works until this comes in. And so, they've left us no choice. It's not where anyone wants to be. I can tell you that governors I know, maybe with the exception of this person in Texas, evidently, we want our constituents represented. We want the voices heard. Whether you vote for me or not, I want your voice to count. I
No,
want
you
your
don't.
vote to count.
No, you don't.
Unlike Greg Abbott, who
No, you
doesn't
don't.
want your voice to count
Oh,
and doesn't
stop.
want your vote to count, nor does Donald Trump, nor does Ken Paxton, because they're proposing to
No, let her talk.
completely rewrite a map out of nowhere to take away the votes and the voices of Texans.
Okay, listen, Toots, let me explain something to you. You know, there are 35% Republicans in the state of Massachusetts. Now, she just said, whether you vote for me or not, or you vote for me or not, I want your voice to be heard. And yet they have designed the districts in Massachusetts in such a way that not one Republican has won anywhere. It's interesting because there are pockets of majority Republican support in the state. There are areas where there are more registered Republicans than Democrats. And before you tell me, well, Sam, those pockets can't be very big, since I brought up Mr. Romney, former governor of the great state of Massachusetts, he was governor there from 03 to 07. Did we not forget this? So, now remember, I told you what was the last Republican to be in office was elected in 94. He was defeated in 96 after, So remember, after that election, when Romney left office, these Democrats in Massachusetts gerrymandered the state to such an extent that not another Republican won. So I don't know. Once upon a time, there were enough people that voted for Romney. Look, family friend of my wife's. I need to be very nice about Romney, but she gets mad at me when I trash him too much. But I have my thoughts on Romney, and I think you and I agree. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. But he was still a Republican, and he still won. You see how ridiculously clown these people are? They're just they are lying to your face, and they just. And by the way, I think they're used to talking to people who never question them.